Hi. Actually, I'm gonna change the lighting 1 second. Actually, no, I'm not. I want this to be chill. I am gonna get ready with you while we talk about how much money Fashion Week cost me. And I drink coffee because I am so tired. We did Fashion Week, got back, then I went to LA, then I just got back last night, and here we are. I asked you on my Instagram is @AllegraShaw, to ask me questions specifically about Fashion Week because I felt like I had so many questions being asked while I was away, and so I just thought I'd put it into, thought I'd put it into a big long video while we did the and by the way, I cannot speak because I am tired. Now, this isn't a perfectly well-lit makeup video because this is less about the makeup, more about the Q&A part. So I'm using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. These were also just doing like a really casual look. Like you've seen this look a million times, so. Okay, so as you know, I do attend Fashion Month and I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram. Now I'm gonna answer them for you. Okay, so this is like a good question to start with because before anything happens, the question is, where do you get fit inspo and how many suitcases do I bring? Fit inspo, I keep a Pinterest board. Follow me on Pinterest. @AllegraShaw, and I am constantly pinning outfits that I see. I love watching movies. I love looking at Instagram. I do all of that, and I'll just like have a collection of outfits that I just really love. And then if something's like, you know, I really want to recreate it in my own way, or sometimes I'm really inspired off a specific piece that I have. So that's just like kind of how I start. And then I think you guys have seen, if you watch I think it's called I Missed My Flight, the vlog, which I did miss my flight to New York, which that was my first flight I've ever missed. I'm using the NARS Radiant Light Reflecting Foundation, in Mont Blanc. I do this, which like, I don't care if this is the right way to put on makeup, but this is how I do it. You see that I like try on a bunch of clothes, which I do. Like I try on so many outfits and then I take photos of all the outfits and I see what looks good, what feels good, and then I pack them. I usually bring 3 large suitcases and then a carry-on. So it's obviously a lot, but I'm honestly super used to it now. And it's honestly mostly because there's like weight limits on suitcases. So that's kind of why there's 3. A lot of the times I will also, if I like know specifically I'm going to a show and not being dressed, like I'll look at the designer's vibe and make sure that I have an outfit that like fits that kind of vibe of the designer. Also, I just like paint on foundation with like a brush and then I take my beauty blender. I'm gonna make it look not crazy. Okay, then I'm gonna spray my beauty blender with setting spray. Normally I'd probably get it wet, but I'm not getting out. How does the clothing loaning work? This is a great question because I feel like if you're not in the industry, you literally just have no idea. And then the second part of the question is like, what if you spill? Which you guys know me, right? Like I probably would. I haven't had any real incidents yet. But so clothing loaning works like this. Either if you're like invited to the show and the brand wants you to wear the brand to the show, they will offer loaning. Or sometimes brands will just offer loaning for like the week because they know that there's like a lot of press and a lot of photos being taken. So they'll just offer to loan you some pieces so you can shoot it or wear it. So what they do is if you've either reached out or they've reached out to you for like the show or whatever and you're in communications, this is all done via email. They will then send you a lookbook and then you will make selects on what outfits. It's usually like their runway lookbook. So you'll make selects on which pieces you would like to wear, and then you will get it sent to whatever hotel you're staying at. And then when you get to your hotel, you will open up the box and see what you got because sometimes it's not even what you picked. So that's kind of how it works. So like there were some instances during Fashion Week that like that's not what I picked, but you know, a lot of the time I can make a lot of different outfits work. So for me, it's like, okay, maybe it's not 100% my style, but like it's Fashion Week, let's try out something new. I'm pretty easy. So that's kind of how it works. So then I wear it, I shoot it, and then I send it back. They usually just like set up a courier at the hotel and they get the stuff back. This video is actually sponsored by Mejuri, and I sponsored this video by Mejuri because I wore all of my Mejuri pieces during Fashion Week and I just wore that, like my everyday jewelry, I just wore, and those were my accessories. So I didn't have to like pack a bunch of accessories. The only thing I packed were like some different hoops. I love my Mejuri hoops so much, but I packed different styles of hoops and I only switched out my first whole earring. That's like pretty much all I did. Those are the only earrings I would like switch out because I just love my Mejuri rings so much. There was no need to pack jewelry when Mejuri is just my everyday. I love it so much and I never take it off. Missouri also has these pearl pieces right now, which are so beautiful. I actually have a clip of one that's like a cartilage one. And I wanted to show you those because I think that you guys would really like them. Like they're like really your style. And they have little pearls on them and I think they're so cute. I wear just like this little diamond hoop in this ear. I wear a single diamond in this ear, and then I have a single diamond in my third hole. I have a colored 2 diamond in this hole, and then I wear this like diamond one in this hole. But I do switch out, I would say mostly switch out my first holes because my other holes get infected. That's pretty much why. Not because of Missouri, just because like I think my body just like hates having piercings. And I've had these piercings for like a really long time, and these 2 are new, so they're like still a little sensy. So I just have been wearing my Missouri pieces. I wore them all through Fashion Week, and that's why I sponsored this video, because I just love Missouri so much, and I've been partnering for years now, and I know that you guys all love Missouri. It's a Toronto-based brand, and I'm just obsessed with them. So everything that I wear every day will be linked down below so you can check it out, because I do get a lot of questions about my rings as well, and they're literally just all the Missouri stackable rings, and I just stack them all together. Like this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rings, 2 rings, 2 rings, and then a thumb ring. Those will be linked down below. And I use the Nude 6 concealer. Okay, next I'm gonna do my eyebrows because they're right here. Oh yeah, let's go back to the question about loans and what if you spill. I personally haven't had any issues. Like, obviously shit happens with clothes. Like, I was loaned some stuff from Dior on the weekend, and like when I was hugging people at the event, like people got their makeup all over my white blazer. And like usually they're pretty chill. They usually just dry clean it. If anything pretty serious happened, I would obviously just dry clean the pieces. They're usually pretty chill, and they're all samples, so it's not like these pieces are like being sold or anything. They're specifically meant to be in their offices to loan out to people. Also, I used the Got to Be glued. I think they also have like an eyebrow one. I don't actually really love this stuff. I think it leaves a bit of a white cast, so not worth it, but it's cheap. I mentioned I have to pay for some street style images of you. How does that work? There were a lot of questions about photographers. So the other question is, I want to hear more about getting the rights to street style photos. How do street style pics happen? Okay, so when you go to a show, I'm going to use the Glossier Solar Paint in Ray. When you go to a show, am I okay? Like what, did I just get that in my hair? I'm so not well today. When you go to a show, a lot of the street style photographers have, they all have the schedule, so they know where to go. And they're just sitting outside of the shows, ready to take photos of anyone who has cool outfits, anyone who they know. And then, so what happens with those images, because you can just take photos of people in public without their permission. Like that's like totally a normal thing. I have relationships with a lot of the street style photographers, so they will just send me their photos to post, obviously with credit, because it is their work. The photographers, some of them are there shooting for like Getty Images or BFA. There's one called like IMAX Tree or something. Okay, I let the Glossier sit on my face a little too long because I was dealing with my camera. Now it's a bit dried down. Don't love that. I'm gonna spray my brush so that it's a little wet. So they're shooting for those types of websites, and what those types of websites do is that they buy the rights to the image, and then magazines and publications go on, and then they buy usage for those images to use in their publications. So technically you're not really allowed to post those images for free. You need to buy the rights, even though it's your own image, which I think a lot of people are confused about. A lot of people just post it with the Getty Images watermark, and then someone told me that I could get sued, and then I got nervous, which is why I bought the rights to that image. But then I was like, I can't spend $400 on every image, so I will just post with the watermark, and then if the photographer asks me to take it down, I'll just do that. But yeah, that's kind of how the street style situation happens. You don't really know who's taking photos of you. You don't know where they're gonna end up. Like, it's pretty crazy. If you've watched my vlogs for a while, and I've also still did this year, is even if I wasn't invited to a show, sometimes I'll just go outside of the show just to get all the street style images, because like free PR, pretty much. Is everything you wear on your IG in your closet, or do you have a lot, or do you have to do a lot of selling and donating? I really try to pick selectively when I am making selects or buying stuff. If I am doing like a very specific video, I will buy stuff and return it, because my channel and my content is for inspiration. So it's not to like buy every single piece that I have. I just want you guys to get inspo from things, and obviously it would be like absolutely absurd if I had every single piece that I've ever shown in my wardrobe. This whole apartment would be that. So sometimes I buy stuff and return it, which I don't think is a bad thing, because I'm trying to show you like a vibe, and it doesn't mean that I need it. A lot of the stuff I own. course. Some stuff gets loaned to me, some stuff I buy, some stuff I get gifted, some stuff, you know, if I get gifted stuff and it doesn't work out for me, I will try to return it to the brand so that I don't have it and I'm not creating more waste. Sometimes that I donate, give it to friends. It's like a plethora of things, but I don't own every single piece. And I need you guys to know that because I don't want you thinking that you have to buy everything. Like that's not what I'm trying to do here, you know? How do you get invited? This is like the #1 question that was asked. I'm using Nude Sticks Naughty and Spice for my blush. So there's pretty much like 2 ways that I personally get invited. One, the brand reaches out to me. Brand or PR agency that the brand works with, they reach out to me and they give me an invite, or I reach out to the brand and I get an invite. Well, my team does. I don't do that anymore. Thank God. That used to take so much time. What I used to do is I used to literally scour the internet, find every single person's contact, PR, in-house marketing, communications, and I would email everyone. I'm not kidding. I would send out 200 emails to literally everyone. And most of the time people don't even respond. Like I just would cold email everyone. But the name of this game, and in most industries, is networking and relationships. And that is everything. That is what's gonna get you the farthest. So a lot of the time I wouldn't get the email back because I had no relationship with the brand, which is totally fine, but it's worth shooting your shot. A lot of the other questions like, I really wanna go one day, can I go? So I think New York is the easiest one to like go if you aren't a part of the industry. The other ones are pretty industry heavy and focused. Some shows are open to the public, like they'll have standing room. Some in Paris too, like it's not just New York. Some you can buy tickets to, some you can pay a lot of money and like literally sit front row. I heard that was a thing in New York. So there's definitely ways to do it. Right, that's my like cream. And then I'm taking the Laura Mercier with this brush and I'm just gonna like this. If you go on the Fashion Week websites, they will show you which shows have open seating. Also, I was talking to this guy and it was his first Fashion Week in New York. And he was like, yeah, like it was his first show ever. And he was sitting front row because he bought tickets. He was like, yeah, how long are shows? Like an hour? And I was like, no, they're 15 minutes. Shows are really quick, really short, right? You're just showing the collection and then moving on. So just keep that in mind when you're getting the prices. But moral of the story is you can go, you can find a way to go. Do I ever get nervous attending shows alone? What's it like? How do I get the invite? You heard about the invite. I don't get nervous attending shows alone anymore. I used to get nervous attending everything alone. I am definitely an introvert and I'm not the most outgoing person in the world. I've gotten a lot better over time and with age. I'm using the Hourglass Ambient Light in Bronze Light, I think. I've gotten a lot better over time with doing things alone. And this year I actually, if you watch my New York Fashion Week vlog, I actually went to a full-on party alone. And that's not something I could have ever done before, but I like to challenge myself and do things that are super outside of my comfort zone. So I did that. So no, I don't really get nervous going to things alone anymore. Usually my team comes with me up to like the photography point and then up to the show, and then I show my ticket and then I go in and then I go alone. But like in a show, there's like some mingling. So I'll just like mingle with some people that I know and then I'll just sit in my seat. How do I know what shows to go to? So there is a public schedule, like public in terms of like you can see what shows are showing and what times. Milan actually has a public schedule with addresses. So if you wanted to like go see the people out front, you can, because that is actually completely open, but the other ones don't have the addresses online. I'm using the Dior Rosy Glow in 001 Pink and just going over my blush. So you know what shows are showing because there's a schedule that you can look at. Okay, now we get into cost. How much were those hotel rooms? And then the other one is your employees' flights and hotels, do they pay or you? I pay for my employees to come to Fashion Week. It is a work trip. I being my company, I have a company, like a media company, and the media company pays for the employees to attend Fashion Week. Obviously we pay for flights and hotels and per diems and all of that, just like any normal company would. New York, I stayed at the one hotel and my team stayed elsewhere because I paid for those rooms, but the one hotel comped my hotel for content. So I did a trade for the hotel room. I was not paid. I just got the free hotel room for a certain amount of deliverables. And then Milan, I didn't do any sort of hotel. I just paid straight up for my hotel and for their hotels. And then for Paris, the first night I paid for my own hotel because I really wanted to stay at the specific hotel to take content. And then I did a trade with the Peninsula for 4 nights. And then I did a media rate. So I paid with a media rate for the next 3. And then Sasha and Zoe stayed at another hotel. And that's kind of how it works. I either get a comped hotel for deliverables, but sometimes I could just, depending on what the week's like, you know, doesn't work out or it, you know, whatever. And that's why I think it's really funny when I see all these TikToks of people being like, you shouldn't do anything for free, because I still do things for free because it's worth it. When it's a fair trade, it's worth it. Also, I still do shit for free. The reason why I have such great partnerships actually with a lot of brands, because I did a lot of work for free at the beginning, and like that's just how the industry is. I'm not saying it's like 100% right, but if you don't have like the analytics to back up something, and you don't have the numbers to back up something, I just think it's hard to get paid when you don't have that. So like, I haven't done a lot of hotel stuff, so trade thing is normal. And also a lot of the bigger girls do things for trades too, like hotel wise. Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense. My brain's a little scattered. Do I pay for hotels and flights? So yes, I do pay for hotels and flights. Specifically flights, I always pay for flights. So yeah, it's a really expensive month. So one of the questions is it pricey going to Fashion Week? And are there any unexpected costs? Usually it's not many like unexpected costs because it's pretty planned out and it's not like you're doing like crazy things. I would say that some of the unexpected costs were for me in the past with any sort of like week event. I forgot I was doing my makeup, oh my God. I usually just take Ubers because I like to save money. If Ubers are really slow and like I'm getting to places late and I've needed to book like a car for the day, that's like an unexpected cost. But I do kind of like keep that in mind when I'm budgeting out Fashion Month, that's like a possibility. So I kind of have like emergency like funds. Do you get paid for appearances? Yes, I have been paid for appearances at Fashion Week. I haven't been paid to go to a show yet. I know that's a thing, but not me. But I've been paid to go to events, to take content at the events or like show the event. I find that those paid appearances usually happen in New York, but I know it happens in all cities. Do you sleep during Fashion Month? Barely. It's a tough month. You're definitely like on the road, just doing a lot. So sleep is very minimal. You got to get it when you can. Do I have a PR firm or agency that I'm working with? So I have a management agency or management company. Been working with them since like 2017. And then I do have a consulting agency in Paris, and I just recently signed with them, and they have been the ones who have helped me with Fashion Week. They're the ones who do all the reach out now, what I was talking about before. And they have been absolutely incredible. I've really enjoyed working with them. They've taken a lot of that like reach out work off my plate. They also have so many relationships. I'm obviously like paying for their years of experience and their relationships. And they kind of like introduce me to the right people and tell me who I should meet and whatever. So yes, I have 2 sets of one in Paris and one in LA. Tips on how to build relationships with brands: networking, going to events. If you've been invited to an event, go to the event, find out who you should speak to them, stay in contact with them, treat them like you would any other friend. What happens to all the clothes that are fashion on the runway but ridiculous in real life? So the stuff that's on runways are samples. Like there's usually only like one of those out there at the time. I mean, runway shows are to show like an entire collection and for buyers to buy things for their stores or for the internal stores to buy from the brand, whatever. So sometimes something will be on the runway and then it will just never get produced because no one bought it or it just, you know, didn't fit or whatever. So I don't know, the brand will just like keep it in their archives. So was your stay at the Peninsula a partnership? Yeah, it was a trade partnership. I told you about that. Can you do a play-by-play on how I would tackle fall Fashion Week this year? So around end of August, middle of August, both my teams would start doing reach out to brands to let everyone know, and I would do any personal relationships. I'm just taking setting spray. Any Toronto PR relationships that I have, will do reach out saying that we will be attending this month's Fashion Week. Wait, this season's Fashion Month, you know, so that brands know. I will also around that time start pinning ideas and pulling trends on like what I want to wear for that Fashion Month. And then honestly, everything happens really last minute. It's actually kind of frustrating. Like some of the times I'll go to the week and I don't even have my full schedule yet. Like I know like 2 things I'm going to, and then I get my schedule the night before. I get confirmed to go to something like the day of. Like it's really crazy. So you kind of have to be ready to go with the flow. You have to expect the unexpected and just go with it. So they would do reach out, I would do my like outfit planning. I would also then around that time start, because the schedules of like at least the dates are already around, I would book flights and hotels. I would kind of try to do that as early as I could so that I can get some good deals on things, and then make sure that everything is changeable, refundable, cancelable in case any partnerships do come up, or I need to like go somewhere later or earlier and I can just like move my flights around. How do I stay energized throughout the whole week and traveling? I've gotten just like really good at it. I drink obviously a lot of coffee, I try to sleep where I can. I drink Red Bull when I go out at night and I need to like have energy, but I also try to like take the time to recharge. If I need to, I may try to make sure I do my morning routine when I can. So like meditating. I actually personally don't need that much sleep. Like I don't sleep a lot anyway. I just like am an early riser even when I like, if I don't set an alarm, like I'm still waking up at like 7. I don't like that about myself though. Have I ever been invited to a show and had to cancel going because I was too tired? No, I would never do that. I would never get invited to a show and not go because I was too tired. I have not gone to shows because like I literally couldn't make it there because of traffic or whatever, but I would never cancel last minute because I was too tired. I would suck it up and I would go. Being too tired is like not a thing for shows. Like if I'm invited to a show, that's such a big deal, I'm going, you know? Shows I would have loved to be at, but unfortunately got rejected from. Guys, I get rejected from shows literally all the time. Chanel, Dior, Miu Miu, Jill Sander, The Row, Kate. So many shows I've been rejected from, not just one time, multiple years. But like, I don't take it personally, even though I know it is, like they don't need me or see me as like a valuable option at their show, or like there's limited seats due to COVID and whatever, but I just keep working and maybe next year I'll get it. Maybe next season I'll get it. Like so many shows. I would love to go to the Chanel show. I would love to go to the Dior show, but I have to also do my part and work hard to get to the level that I am valuable to the brand. Pray for me for Dior this season because I really want it. Perfect, that's actually amazing. Those are all of the questions. Let me know if you have any other questions. We can totally do a follow-up maybe after next season or something. Could be fun. If you have any questions on the makeup, all the products that I've used will be linked down below so you can see them because I know I didn't talk about them like fully in depth. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you Missouri for sponsoring this video. You keep me looking chic and accessorized always. Peace and love y'all. Bye.